What's happening, ladies and gents? What's going on? What is going on with you? Look, thank you so much for tuning into another great episode of the Arrington Gavin podcast, hosted by your friend and homie and bro, me, Arrington Gavin, coming to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays with some new great content, whether it's me sharing my unfiltered opinion on a trending topic or discussion happening around, or sometimes I just have the honor of bringing in some amazing individuals for some one-on-one conversations. And yes, this is all you get, all of that here on the Arrington Gavin podcast. Um, so excited! It's Friday, y'all. It is Friday. Even though it's basically the weekend, so it's the start of the weekend. Your boy is exhausted. When I tell you I'm like tired, tired's not even the word. I haven't really recovered since my wife and I came back from my in-laws in South Carolina the last week, and have so many events going on this week. So many events. I think in the next, like, I don't know, I've probably went to about 6 events in like the past 4 days. I mean, why is everybody trying to have everything in December? That's what I want to know. Aren't they tired? Don't they want to just wait until 2024? It's not going to be a long time. Just wait until 2024. But I can't complain. I'm such a huge advocate when it comes to networking events. Some of the events, man, I'm actually getting recognized, myself and my team, and my family at In Your City. We are nominated for best podcast at the Blendsville 2023 Blendsville Awards tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that. It's been a long time coming. Our Smooth Club Media has been going on since, I believe, like in the 2020, 2019, late 2019, early 2020. And just started off as a platform to hang with my friends. I've been fortunate to have a great circle of friends that work in all industries and all different age groups. And I'm like, man, we got to have something where we just sit down and have a great conversation. And that expanded to, having Our Smooth Club Presents In Your City, which is now a weekly radio show. You can check that out. You can listen to it every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSB Hot 91.1 FM, the Solar VA. And no worries if you're not in the Hampton Roads area and you can't find us on that radio dial, you can listen live online at WNSB.org, as well as download the app. The WNSB app is free, so you can listen to it there, and as well as on all podcast platforms. Likewise, this podcast, which is you can via podcasts wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, you name it. Our YouTube channel is Our Smooth Club Media. We have some great content on there. You can tune into past episodes of my first podcast, Our Smooth Club, In Your City, my weekly radio show I co-host with my good friend comedian Ciroc Fox and hustle queen Miss Michelle Young, and then shout out to our producer Mr. Cam Godley. Your boy's always doing a lot, right? I always want to make the time to have these conversations with you here on the digital airwaves. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. It's the holiday season. It is the holiday season. Once that last meal of Thanksgiving, it was already Christmas time. You already knew it was been Christmas time when it was Halloween time. I mean, people are already buying all their gifts now. My wife already started with decorating the house with Christmas decorations. I still got to do the outside. I've been slacking. I'm not gonna lie. What else is happening here? A lot of birthdays too in December. I got a lot of birthdays, which makes it even more stressful, I guess. But anyway, enough about that. Look, I want to get on with talking about some of these stories, man. So first things first, this is a breaking news. George Santos. Let me go ahead and pull this up. George Santos, who is or was a congressman in out of New York City, he is being expelled. He is getting kicked out of the House Congress after loads and loads of allegations. Really, it wasn't even allegations. It was proof. He literally would say he did this it never happened. He said he worked here, it never happened. He said um um this and that and the other. I mean, I'm saying like the ultimate resume scam. Okay, I'm talking fraud to the core. This guy, I think, at one point mentioned that his mom was a victim in 9/11, which never happened. Said he was Jewish, and then he said, "No, I'm just Jewish." Uh, there's been you've seen this is actually by CNN right here. He, I believe, used campaign money, or money that donors donated for him because they're thinking he was going to make a difference in their community. He spends it on Botox. Botox, y'all. Spends it on Botox and exclusive content pages. And I mean, this man was he's a key example of why we have so much wrong in the world. Why things are never getting taken care of in our society. Okay, it's extremely sad and annoying, and it's just let's see with some more. Yeah, Santos accuses a GOP accuses Santos, this was 12 minutes ago, of stealing money from him and his mother. Okay, him and his mother. I mean, like the list goes on and on and on and on. And you can, I mean, I'm just browsing through a little bit of these articles here. But he has really just lied to the people, lied to people in office. As you see, look at all these stories popping up. He becomes the first House member to be expelled from the chamber in more than 2 decades. 2 decades. And I guarantee you, if you talk with him right now, he would be saying, "I'm an innocent man. This is the worst thing that can happen in democracy," and blase, blase, blase. Dude, you lied. You lied. Okay. Stop making it seem like you're the victim, because you're not. I think he even mentioned there's a congressman out in the New York area. Oh my gosh, if I can, Jamal Bowman, who was seen pulling the fire alarm, which he was very guilty of doing, and he had to, I think there was charges brought to him for that. He's saying, well, if I'm expelled, he definitely needs to be expelled. He's the one that needs to be expelled. Yada yada. Yeah, it's just it's dumb, dude. It's dumb. So it brings a question that I want to ask you guys. Have y'all ever lied on your job resume or applying for a job? Have you ever told a lie? And I mean, I'm not saying lie to the extent of George Santos, but I'm just saying, if they said, "Hey, look, we require this number of experience," you said this. If you apply for a job that you had absolutely no experience in, but you said you did, have you, like, let me know, man. Let me know. Leave, please. This is anonymous. Put leave it in the comment, or just I want to get your thoughts on it. I want to get your thoughts on that because, again, in a sense, and I actually heard media personality Van Lathan speak on this. I think he's a host of Higher Learning podcast and co-host of Higher Learning podcast, and he said this is kind of like the new norm. Like, people lie on their resume, and he's absolutely right. I've never done it. No, for real, I've never done it, but people do lie on their resume. Because remember, we live in a society where it's not what you know, it's who you know. And sometimes a lot of people are just, depending on what jobs, they're like, okay, look, we just need to hurry up and hire somebody. We'll train them in the process, yada, yada, yada. But people have lied on their resume. I if someone says no, that they don't think anybody has ever lied, no. People have lied on their resume. But again, to this gentleman, George Santos, let me see what other more articles they have going on. Is that all? I think that is, yeah, I think that is all right there they have for him. And it was funny because it was actually, I believe, two Democrats. Yeah, there were two Democrats who voted against expelling Santos, and one of the two, his name was he serves as Congress here in Virginia, Bobby Scott. He's a long serving congressman here in the state of Virginia, very well respected in the area, and he was one of the ones that actually voted against expelling Santos. And people are probably like, well, why did you vote against him? Look. It's not the fact that they like Santos. No, they knew he was poison for the Republican Party on that side, and they're like, "Oh no, please keep him because he is a circus for us. We get a good laugh every time we go in session. Please don't let him go. Please don't let him go." But the Republicans are like, "Man, his ass got to go. His ass got to go." So yeah, it wasn't good on that dude. So uh let's see. George Santos, after House expels him, to hell with this place. I'm sorry. It's, it's just so funny because in my mind I'm like, now you're salty. Now you're pissed. He's like, oh, the hell with this place. I was innocent. That man got to live the celebrity life for a short period, and honestly, he's still gonna be a celebrity for the wrong reason though. I mean, his brand is crushed. Like, who? I'm sorry. What other job would he be able to do? How's he gonna? What is he gonna do? He's gonna have to start his own business. And if people wants to invest in it, wants to support his business, you know what I mean? Like, who's gonna hire a guy who basically the world found out that you're the biggest liar and you've lied on your resume? Like, it's literally caused you probably jail time. I mean, there's charges being, because again, stole campaign funds for his benefit, for his own benefit. Lied about where he went to school, lied about his education, lied about, I mean, just lie, 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 lie. You lie. Boy, you lie. And you know what? I mean, I can't feel bad for you. It's what you get. It's what you get. So I ain't gonna speak too long on this guy, George Santos. I mean, then everybody's gonna remember the name. He's gonna be the joke of the probably next 4 or 5 years. Really, the joke forever when it comes to politics and in Congress. And yeah, he is. Woo. Mm, 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 mm. I mean, this is the world we live in, y'all. This is the world we live in. Oh my God, this is giving me. It's just like, oh, it's so frustrating because we have idiots arguing back and forth. Hey, we're right, you're wrong, and we're gonna keep it that way. People that don't want to work together for the greater good. Because see, at the end of the day, they're not leaders; they're servants for the country. Okay, for the United States, Congress people, they're servants for their state. Okay, that they represent. Senators, people in your local office. I mean, they are servants for the community. They're there to help serve and do what's best for their community. This right here is disgusting. This right here, where George Santos, trust me, he's not the first guy to do this. He just got caught. Okay, he just got caught, but he is not the first guy to do this, and it is extremely frustrating because there are people that are struggling. Okay, struggling right now, making ends meet, working paycheck to paycheck. The cost of living is not getting cheaper. Okay, people with kids, it's the holiday season, and we got to hear about this nonsense. Give me a break. It is so frustrating, y'all. So frustrating. And one thing that I always love to promote on here is the fact that I want to keep y'all informed. I want to spread love, positivity, and just know that, hey, look, we all got to do better. We got to do better, and we got to continue to change the narrative out there. Um, it's just frustrating. It's frustrating, but let me move on. Get this ick off my screen. Ah, that man lied. They said 10 questions. Answer these for me. Part of your resume. All 10 of them lies. Like, I mean, it's insane. Um, moving on to the music on really the entertaining side of things. Lenny Kravitz, right? Lenny Kravitz, who is a very, very, very popular popular star and singer, songwriter, actor. uh, businessman. I mean, he does it all. He does it all. Lenny came out, which I thought really, caught my attention. This is reported by People Magazine. Lenny Kravitz says he feels his success is not celebrated by black media. Now, Lenny Kravitz is known for being a rock star. He's in that genre of rock music. Maybe punk rockish a little bit, and he's always been very artistic with his style. I think he's one of the coolest cats in America. Like really, like he's in the fucking great shape. Okay, he dresses very swag. I think he's maybe pushing 60 now. Beautiful family. He's a prime example of how co-parents can still be very tight. He's the father of Zoe Kravitz, actor Zoe Kravitz. His I think his ex-wife. I don't know if they were married or just a couple, but he fathered her, Zoe Kravitz, with Lisa Bonet, famous actress from the Cosby Show. And she, I believe, is with or together with Jason Momoa. They've been together for years. Current Aquaman. And they always showed the family, coming together, having fun. Just all around great dude, right? Very successful guy. His mother also was a famous actress. The late great I'm forgetting her name, but she was the co-star of the Jeffersons. I don't know if you remember the Jeffersons. Their neighbors and friends. It was an interracial couple. Well, his mother was the lady on that show, and so who was very, it's so funny because she was all very like sweet and pleasant, and then you see Lenny Kravitz all edgy and stuff. So it was interesting. But yeah, Lenny Kravitz opens up about that because again, he mentioned that BT has never contacted him for any of their events, and he's never been to a BT related event at all, which BT stands for Black Entertainment Television. Now let's be honest, when it was initially created, it was owned by black people, made to for the audience for black people, but recently I think it's been like it's owned by white people. By white people own BET now. And I do recall that Tyler Perry was attempting to try and buy BET, which would make perfect sense because I mean you're talking about one of black media's highest successful men in media in Hollywood, right? It would have been destined for him to, well, really in Atlanta. And I only say Hollywood because he turned Atlanta into Black Hollywood. So Tyler Perry would have been the awesome, and I think he's still trying to. I think it's a process, and I pray that he will get ownership of BET because he's made BET tons of money with all his programs and shows. But yeah, Lenny brings us up, and as I scroll, it brings a question like, y'all, why is it hard for black people to support other black people in their endeavors, in their businesses, in their we always get the hashtag black owned business, hashtag black media, hashtag support this, but we preach it a lot, but do we actually do it, right? Do we back what we preach, right? Do we put it into action? And I've been around and I've seen firsthand that they might black people, we might say we support it, but do you really support it? Do you put your money into black dollars, right? We need to do better. We need to do better as a whole. And I'm not saying not even acknowledge the fact that y'all ain't black on business. I ain't put my money into y'all. No, I'm not saying that, but I think it's very important that we continue to uplift black businesses because for one, and I've spoken on this show a while back, a popular brewery out in the historic Phoebus area and located in Hampton, Virginia, had closed down after 2 years, stating that they, I guess they didn't meet their quota where they were trying to. So instead of continue to lose money, they're like, hey, look, let's just close it down. It was sad because when it comes to breweries in Hampton, Virginia, Hampton Roads, Virginia, breweries are one of the longest lasting businesses that is gonna stay. I mean, people love their beer, and they also sold other liquors. People, when it comes to liquor, man, y'all should be in business for centuries, because people are always gonna come and grab a drink. Whether if it's they're feeling down, they're gonna grab a drink. When they're celebrating, they're gonna grab a drink. When they're having an event or a party, like it blew my mind, and it was so sad because it was the first ever and only black owned brewery in Hampton Roads. And to my knowledge, I'm like, okay, do they get enough support? Because when like black people, we have to. I'm talking show up like when we first found out who Barack Obama is and he was running for president. We need to have that support back. You know what I mean? Because one of the greatest artists of all time, Lenny Kravitz, is saying that he feels like his success is not celebrated by black media. And now, to go more into details with that, now, and I'm just going based on, again, I give you my unfiltered opinion. Black media, what is black media today, right now? What is black media consistent? Okay, now if I start off with television shows, black media, I see a lot of um um you know gangster related shows that are successful. I see let's see. I'll see drama shows talking about stories that occur in black families. Um you kind of see typical things, right? Now, when we do get to see black excellence, it's always it's a once in a blue moon, right? We don't see it ongoing. We don't see ongoing. Um, right now, I will say that with the growth of the Griot, which is owned by Byron Allen, he's doing an amazing job. I mean, owning loads of television stations. He bought what was a news network called the Black News Network, or the Black News Channel, I believe, which was very great because again, that was needed. It was a news platform that was catered to people of color, like as far as stories, keeping you afloat. Because in the black community, not everybody is always informed with what's going on, right? And sometimes it's not in the fact that they might not have the access, but they feel as though, okay, how does that relate to me, right? How does that stuff relate to me? Um, Also, award shows. Now, I have an issue with some of the award shows. So I'm a huge fan of the BET Awards. As a kid, I used to always, that was like tradition. I always had to watch the BET Awards. The BET Awards was, well, again, Black Entertainment Television. Black BET Awards showed a little bit of all the genres and arts of people of color, right? So you had gospel, you had R&B, you had rap, you also acknowledge the athletes, you acknowledge the actors, you acknowledge the community activists, community leaders, things like that, and they still do that. But I will say, as far as performance wise, in the past, I'm gonna say 5 years for the BET Awards, it's been pretty much all hip hop. And I get it that hip hop, pop, they're your genres, but you're supposed to be showcasing all of black entertainment. Lenny Kravitz is a part of black entertainment. Okay. His music might not be as common to the black community, but there are black people that love rock and roll. Prince was a part of rock and roll. Tina Turner was a part of rock and roll. Michael Jackson was a part of rock and roll. Okay. Lenny Kravitz, a part of rock and roll. The list goes on and on, but for me, I've seen nothing but straight up hip hop on the awards. Now mine, that's just the BET Awards. Now the BET network, they still have the hip hop awards. Okay, so now you got two platforms with just hip hop awards, and I'm like, okay, this we've what message is trying to be sent out? Because let's be honest, not all hip hop artists, in my opinion, are promoting a positive message for the community, for the youth. In my opinion, in Arrington's opinion, I don't think that message is being sent out. You have a select few that are doing great things, but if they are doing great things, they're not being showcased as much as the ones that are like talking about, you know, getting money, getting women, uh 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 you know, getting high, you know what I mean? Like, it's that party vibe. It's the message that's not being, the message is not being promoted the way it should be. So that's also involved in black media, reality TV. You know, some of the black reality TV shows, extremely ratchet. All right. Um, what am I forgetting? Anything? I feel I might be forgetting something, but I'm just being honest as far as what I see, right? And even sometimes you might see woman talk shows, right? You know, you might see something that start off positive and then it starts getting ratchet in between. Like, it's just like, why? I still wish that BET had their own new. They do have a news division, but it's very small. You don't see a lot of You do not see a lot of exposure on it, which that frustrates me as well. Because the news is important, y'all. I don't care if you're not into politics or what. If you want to know what's happening in your community, in the world, in your backyard, you gotta watch the news. So the hell with y'all. You know, y'all, I don't watch. I'm not big on. I'm not saying you gotta watch it 24/7. I'm just saying take 10 minutes out of your time. Okay, 15 minutes at least. I mean, you get it in your phone, but it at least just, take some time and just check it out just a little bit. I know, look, it's not meant to be enjoyable. Okay, the first thing people says is like, it's always sadness in the world. So yeah, certain news networks, they have their platforms. They know they focus more on ratings and not just about what's happening. But hey, that's their job. But you got to stay afloat. You got to stay in tune, y'all. So I highly recommend that. But as for going back to Lenny Kravitz not feeling the support from black media, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to see some quotes from him that he had mentioned. He said, he feels like as though his music and success is not celebrated by the folks who run black publications and organizations. Now, the Grammy winner explained to Esquire that he feels like outlets that could have recognized him and his work over the years have not, in addition to the musician mentioning that the magazine Vibe didn't put him on their cover until nearly a decade into his career. He offered several other examples. Kravitz said, "To this day, I have not been invited to a BET thing or a Source Awards thing." Come on now, y'all. Not even the Soul Train Awards. Come on, y'all. Mm. I want to get your thoughts on that too, guys. I want to get your thoughts on why aren't why do you think Lenny Kravitz doesn't get any doesn't get any recognition, any hit up by black media? Because for me, I feel like that will benefit black media because it shows how versatile we are. It shows how we can do a little bit of anything and everything. Okay. Now, I'm a lover of music. I love all genres. I don't focus on one genre. I love country. I love R&B. I love hip hop. I love gospel. I love jazz. I love rock and roll. I love it all, man. There's a group right now, is my favorite group, called The War and Treaty. They're a country music duo, and they are killing it right now. And I love them. I love them. Are we gonna see some country artists performing at the BET Awards? All right. This, I would love to start somehow a petition or something, some kind of movement. Hashtag, versatilize the BET Awards. Mix up the music genres in the BET Awards, right? I want to see it. I want to see it. But again, if y'all want to read up on this Lenny Kravitz article, again, this is reported by People Magazine. You can look it up and read more about it. And again, also, hey, share me your thoughts, what you think about this. You can DM me at my Instagram at Arrington Gavin, or let's see. Leave a comment on our YouTube page, our Smooth Club Media. I truly appreciate it. But yeah, give me your thoughts on that conversation. Moving on. Moving on. Okay. To another interesting story that caught my attention because, as you know, I am a fan of politics. I'm a fan of some of our most vocal political uh 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 what do you call it? Journalists, uh uh newsmakers out there. Um I'm a huge fan of Roland Martin. Roland Martin is the host, founder of Roland Martin Unfiltered, and he has been in the game for a long time. He's probably one of my all-time favorite journalists, political commentators out there, and he is he's just awesome. He's an awesome dude. I always want to get the chance to meet him. Hopefully, I will sometime soon. But he had a gentleman on his show, Roland Martin Unfiltered, who was the one of the leaders for the Rhode Island BLM, which stands for Black Lives Matter. And this is an article given that Roland, Lord have mercy, Rhode Island BLM leader endorses Trump's and then rips Biden as a deep disappointment. Now, I thought this was interesting because there has been a lot of discussions on a lot of the news outlets as far as, because as you know, it is political season. Um, as far as the race for presidency has already started. You have I think we're about to be on the last Republican presidential debate happening December 6th on a Wednesday, December 6th, which is televised on News Nation. It's going to be moderated by I know Elizabeth Vargas, she has a show now on News Nation, Sirius XM's Megan Kelly. And there's another third person up there. I'm losing my train of thought on who it is, but it's three women who will be moderating the last presidential debate, and it's happening, I believe, in Alabama. Since then, I mean, we had so many Republican candidates. I believe almost 14 candidates at the time. Now, currently, I know Chris Christie is still involved, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump. I believe that is all because I know Tim Scott left, Larry Elder left, or dropped out of his campaign race. Will Hurd left out of Texas. All right, so Larry Elder, Tim Scott, he's out. So I think there's maybe like 4 or 5 left on the Republican side, and which Trump is still very much high in the numbers. He's like extremely high. Like he could be the nominee in a heartbeat. Like, and he hasn't been at any presidential debate, which shows you just damn, how much people love and want to see Donald Trump. You have a lot of third party candidates. I know Jill Stein, I believe, is just entered the race, who has been a 2-time presidential nominee of I think of the Green Party, if I'm not mistaken. But she's running third party. Cornel West is running third party. Robert F. Kennedy is entered in at the third party. He initially started on the Democratic ticket, and now he said, you know what, I think I'm gonna have a better chance running third party. So he is in that race, and I think on the Democratic side you have Joe Biden, um Dean Phillips, a congressman, and then also Marianne Williamson. Those are so far the candidates on all sides that I'm know of at the moment. But the topic at the table has always been, hey, what are black people saying, right? What are people of color saying about Donald Trump? Because the stereotype, the stigma that goes on in politics is that all black people are Democrats. Not true. Not true. I know loads of black Republicans, black conservatives. A lot of us are honestly, independents. I'm a registered independent. I voted for Democrats. I voted for Republicans. I vote on person, not party. So, a lot of us find ourselves in the middle. So they're asking, what are black voters saying about these upcoming elections? A lot of people, there's a lot of talks that black voters are looking at Trump now. Might even vote for Trump. They're not a fan of Joe Biden. I'll be honest, I can't stand both of them. I'm not a fan of both of them. Do I think that Biden is less of a headache than Donald Trump? Absolutely. Which, I mean, we see the cost of a lot of costs getting up. I haven't really seen too much to say, this was the worst ever. Here's the thing. The initial mission was, please do not bring back Trump in office. Whoever you bring, Lord have mercy, we will vote for them to get them in office. Okay. Now, I guess everybody assumed that, okay, now that Biden took that role, he's just going to do it for one term and then, be on his way. He's not. He wants to stay. Now, Biden is about, I believe, 80 or 81 years old. He was old when he ran the election to run for president, and he's old now, so no shocker. And the age thing has always been vice versa of what people are discussing. But the thing is, who is plan B? Who are the other options, right? A lot of people said we need somebody else. And that's what I think a lot of people are just like, do not want to see a repeat. They're very stuck right now. So going back to this, to this article, Black Lives Matter Rhode Island activist throws support behind Donald Trump. Now, this is reported by WPRI out of Rhode Island. A man who was once a prominent black so that means he's not anymore, was once a prominent Black Lives Matter Rhode Island activist, has publicly announced he is backing Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election. Now, Mark Fisher is his name, a former Democrat turned independent who now lives in Maryland, so he's not even in Rhode Island anymore. Explains his reasoning during a live interview earlier this month on Fox News. Now, he says, Fisher says, "We're not stupid. We understand when someone's for us and when someone is not. It's obvious that the Democratic Party is not for us." Once again, don't speak for everybody. Do not speak for everybody. I hate that from the get-go. A lot of people are misinformed. I agree. They don't really understand because they don't educate themselves on Donald Trump as a person and his history. Now, Fisher, who was introduced as the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Rhode Island, went on to say that he personally loves the man, referring to the former president. Whew. How could you not like a real man? How could you not relate to someone like that? First of all, sir, this guy was born rich. So nobody can relate to somebody that is born into money. Secondly, he's never been told no. He's never had rejection. Okay? Once again, nobody can relate to him. Secondly, a real man, what are you trying to insinuate there? How can you not like a real man? What makes him a real man? What makes him a real man? And what makes Biden not a real man? Now, again, I don't like neither of them, okay? But I'm just trying to bring like, some understanding here. What makes him a real man? Because, see, in my opinion, a real man shows sympathy. A real man is apologetic. A real man is respectful. A real man represents himself with dignity and respect of others and loyal of others. Last time I checked, a lot of Trump's people that has supported him and looked out for him, man. He been throwing him under the bus. Okay. Last time I checked, the man has insulted women multiple times. The last time I checked, he has questioned a former president's citizenship based on his middle name, and since not apologized for that. Okay, that's now. Last time I checked, this man had said that there are good Americans on both sides. When there was during the Charlottesville protests of the Confederate flag, both sides. There were one side that was for it, and then there was one side that was loads of I don't know KKK members, people from hate and discrimination groups. But they're good Americans on both sides. Okay. Um, once again, I think this brother isn't informed. For one, he's the former. Why is he no longer a part of the Rhode Island BLM and he's in a different state? So what I want to know that more on that story, because he's going around being saying, hey, I'm the co-founder, former co-founder, this, and that, and the other. Why are you no longer affiliated with them? Why are you no longer in the state? I'm more in shock because it's nothing wrong, and there's nothing wrong with you voting for Trump. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That is your constitutional right to whoever the hell you want to vote for. That's your right. It's your right to choose all that great stuff. That is your right. I don't think it's wrong for people to say, hey, look, I voted for. I was that person where I still had friends that were vocal on saying, yeah, I voted for him. Okay, that's your choice. That's you. That's you have the right to. No one should be forced to vote for a person that they don't feel comfortable voting for. But I'm having disagreements with this gentleman is why, right? Why your reasoning for backing this guy up? Because this man is facing indictments. He has blatantly lied. He just he's the biggest headache next to George Santos, in my opinion. All right. But hey, a lot of people are voting for him and voting from his upcoming elections. I really him saying that his frustration with the Democratic Party, I can understand frustration because okay, if majority of African Americans have always voted for Democratic Party, or if there's been in the past few years mainly Democratic represented presidents in office, and nothing has been said. Once again, I've always said, promises not being made. Um, um, Trust and believe. Everybody in the Democratic Party are not perfect, so they got some bad apples in there that probably don't care for people of color. Okay. Likewise, the Republican Party, people of color. Now, there are a lot of supporters of the Republican Party that I would say I won't probably get invited to the cookout. um, a lot of Trump supporters, I do believe, are people that I probably won't get invited to the cookouts. But I'm a social butterfly. I'm friends with everybody, right? I'm friends with everybody. Um, I have I just this is something interesting right here. This is an interesting convo, an interesting story, and it's going to be happening for a long time. I recommend y'all going on uh YouTube or podcast platform and find the interview with on Roland Martin Unfiltered with him and this gentleman. You can see it on YouTube. It's viral. It's very viral. Because it's like And why are you backing this up? For one, the Republican Party has been known to have mad disagreements and or not agreeing with the mission of Black Lives Matter. Okay? They don't stand behind Black Lives Matter. So are you saying, sir, that you do you still stand behind Black Lives Matter, or are you against Black Lives Matter? Because how can you support a person where majority of his team has said, no, you guys are wrong, all lives matter, not Black Lives Matter? And look, before I get heat, but what I just said, we're not saying that people that are not African Americans' lives don't matter. Historically, what we're saying is the fact that, okay, when Black lives are being discriminated in the workplace, in the streets, historically, Black lives has been mistreated for many years. Okay, so that's where the whole Black Lives Matter comes from. There's people of all races that are members of Black Lives Matter organization and the movement. Okay, so let's not get our panties in a bunch with that. Um, but I just had to get that off my chest, y'all, because it's it is really campaign season. It's gonna be campaign season for quite a while, right? I think for the next about year and some change. Um, it's up to you to always stay informed. It's up for you to do your research on all of the candidates, all of them, not just one party of candidates, all of the candidates. Look, go on their website, read their issues, read their history of what they've done in their communities and their states and cities. Um, it's very important that you vote. If you are of age of voting, please vote, because it does matter and it does count. Okay, make sure you have an understanding of what's going on in your local city communities, your local school boards, your local councils. Please stay informed. um please just, like I said, stay informed. um that's really all I have, y'all. That's really all I have for you. It's just important. It's important that you do so. So I hope y'all uh so y'all heard me rant this whole time. I appreciate you staying on, hearing my ass go, because I couldn't, I can go on like a radio, but um I know y'all want to get ready for the weekend, ready to chillax, and if y'all going to some parties out there, y'all stay safe. Be sure to continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast, coming to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast, as best as I can at Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, uh, um, Google Podcasts, you name it. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube. Our YouTube channel is R Smooth Club Media. The letter R and the word Smooth Club Media. Also, you can find us that out on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook page, Our Smooth Club Podcast. Wish us luck too, guys, because tomorrow we are be at the Blendsville Awards, because we are nominated for Best Podcast, along with a bunch of other heavy hitter shows, man, that are nominated. Man, it's gonna be awesome. Continue to tune into my weekly radio show In Your City, which airs every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSB 91.1 FM, the Soul of VA. Download the app, WNSB app. Subscribe. Um, Follow all of our social medias on Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Um, y'all just stay safe out there. Until next time, I'll see y'all on Monday. Peace.